talking about skill development for a really nice handstand. So we're talking about the English handstand, forward hands. We always want to start forwards with our feet. Always, doesn't matter what skill it is. She's going to, when we have a demonstrator step in, we're going to talk about split handstand. Hands are going to the edge of the beam, and then we're going to do a split to make sure it's nice and confident and square first. So that's our first step, is to do that. Demonstrator, please. All right, so she's going to lunge, make a handstand, and right here, that square is nice and solid. Come up, fixing that back foot forwards, and lunge. Okay. Obviously, they have to do this a couple times, get it really confident. They should be able to do this by themselves. Then we step into the next part of this. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Split, feel that block, and then pull together to the handstand. This should allow for this nice tall handstand line, and then come down. Good, so thank you, you can step aside. So a lot of times kids will, if you use my hands as an example, kids will kick up to here, and then as they squeeze together, it's never vertical. So you have to learn how to kick past to squeeze the vertical. So that's a really good drill for that. Okay, so another great drill for cartwheels on beam and or floor. We're set up this big block, just, kind of like a wall when you do your cartwheel wall drills. But we're gonna focus on how we step in, because a lot of kids tend to look outside their armpits when we need to look inside our armpits to keep our alignment. So our demonstrator's gonna show, and I'm always gonna spot. So cartwheel, and we're gonna stop and kind of rest gently on the blocks. She's gonna make sure she's gonna look inside her armpits, and then we're gonna continue this cartwheel down and then finish, okay? And then she's gonna show you what the whole cartwheel looks like with the block in too. So. All right, so we're having a block set up, and we're gonna talk about our side handstands. We're focusing on alignment and reaching to the beam in a tall shape. Our demonstrator is going to step up and show you how to start tall, take a nice forward step, and then reach hand to a side handstand. The block is there so they can learn how to balance that shape. So she's going to push off the block and fix alignment. There you go. Okay, so another block drill. Super important drill for all the way to vertical English handstands, forward handstands, whatever your club calls them. So they're gonna kick up to a handstand, and then after they obtain vertical, they're gonna do a quarter turn into a side handstand. So this is a pretty great drill to making them realize their mistakes and making it obvious where their corrections are. It kind of does it for them. So step on up, my demonstrator. So you can always spot the first couple. So they're going to do a forward handstand, and then turn, and then hold, okay? Come on down, careful. And then once they get to do that, they can do that by themselves multiple times, and then she's going to try it by herself. I'm just going to hold the block just to keep it safe. Super tall. There it is. Awesome. Okay, so back walkovers. You're training the back walkover right now for beam, but if you use these tips and tricks for floor, it'll just make the transition so much easier. When they're standing, you want to make sure their feet are forward in alignment, hips are forwards, favorite leg in front, only pinky toe touching. When they go backwards, just as in a back bend, your hips go forwards to go backwards, starting with our fingertips and hips working together. Same consistency through the back walkover. They want to stretch tall, just like they would have to do in a back bend. As they stretch, their hips go forward, their toes lift. Okay, so our demonstrator, up tall and lift to go backwards. Okay, so as they can do that, since we're training for beam, we're trying to make it really solid skill. We're gonna put a panel mat down. Right now we're just doing 2 panels, keeping the athlete safe, but teaching them a little bit more how to exaggerate that lift and push through the base leg. Good. And then again, as they do that safely, ultimately we'd love to get to 4 panels. Make sure that's safe. Okay. That was a beautiful demonstration of how the hips are moving, stretching, and everything. So once they get this drill, they're ready for their beam back walkovers. Okay, so we're talking about the back handspring for beam. And again, beam back handspring is totally different than a floor back handspring. bean back handspring step out wants to jump to a split handstand over the top, long, and then finish in a step out. So we love for the kids to start with their chest up, arms back, so that way they can sit and then swing their arms and get back to the beam. And again, they're gonna jump to that split control shape, not the floor back handspring, which is jump to your hands, block, and then step out late. So 2 totally different skills. We've got this set up with a piano mat and just a Velcro beam behind us to give them a target to go towards. I'm gonna spot. So teaching them how to spot, my demonstrator is gonna show you. She's learning the new arms, trying to sit and reach, and I'm gonna stop her unfavorite leg in the split and then finish the step out. Right? Okay, so I'm spotting the back handspring, keeping the athlete safe, but I'm holding their base leg, their not dominant leg, to make that split happen. Okay, so that's the most important thing to make this a smooth back handspring. As they do this, they do it by themselves. You add the piano mats up to a whole piano mat to 4 panels, and then they're ready for the beam.